Hi, I'm Brent Merriman, Xenia City Manager. On behalf of the City of Xenia, we're pleased to present the 2017 State of the City Address. The State of the City message is a requirement of Xenia City Charter, and it's intended to present information to you, the public, on the status of our city. Beyond this formality, though, presenting the annual address is an opportunity to speak with you, our community members, on the experiences of the past year and to sow the seeds of expectations for the projects and priorities we'll be pursuing in the coming year. Indeed, the past year has been a very busy one, and so we consider all the changes occurring in Xenia. We look to a year full of even more opportunities, and we ask ourselves, where do we grow from here? 2017 was a transitional year with many new projects taking root in our community. As this transition evolves, we are mindful of the need to balance growth and change with respect for the traditions and values that make Xenia a quaint small town. Xenia needs to cultivate growth in order to ensure our sustainability into the future. She needs an expanding economy and an improving quality of life to be competitive. She must take some chances and accept that we cannot remain stationary. After all, in this world of constant change, we are either moving forward or we are falling behind. Yet, as we manage this change, our growth needs to be an extension of everything that makes Xenia genuine and great, not a forced transition to something artificial. If you want that, visit the green. Maybe not. Instead, let's revisit how Xenia has grown in the past year. In 2017, we've enjoyed the progression of important services and realized the fulfillment of projects now completed. Changes to our trash collection service have fully taken root and resulted in a blossoming of our recycling program, with community participation and tonnage recycled having increased several-fold over the prior year. In the past summer, we've also instituted our bulk pickup service, providing new, low-cost bulk removal options for residents. Fire and police services were bolstered through the refilling of multiple vacant positions made possible through our improving finances. To make this good news even better, we've just hired 3 full-time firefighters as a result of a successful application for SAFER Act grant funding, which will improve our response capabilities for EMS and fire crews moving into the new year. On the recreation front, we were finally able to reap the harvest of new parks amenities after a couple of years of planning and construction. The Bennett Play Depot and Splash Pad at Xenia Station, walking paths and a basketball court at Sterling Green, and nature trails and a disc golf course at Saul Arnovitz are among the park's improvements now creating happy smiles and fun for miles. In our public service department, we've traded in contractual services for dedicated employees, and in the process, found a cost-effective way of improving the quality of mowing and other streetscape functions while expanding our capacity for leaf collection season and snow removal services. We've extended our community outreach efforts, offering informational services to diverse audiences through social media, print materials like our quarterly newsletter, and countless stories through print and broadcast media, and starting with the airing of this address through our new Xenia TV platform. This fall, staff conducted a full-scale multi-agency emergency operations drill to help ensure our folks are prepared to manage and mitigate any disaster we might encounter. We also hosted our annual job fair with numerous partners, and this time our friends at Xenia Community Schools worked with us to provide an opportunity for seniors to gain valuable insight by experiencing the job-seeking process firsthand. Again, this past year we've worked hand in hand with volunteers to nurture great traditions like fireworks and festivals, neighborhood night out events, and other community gatherings inspired to bring people together. Continuing to provide quality services cost effectively has been our focus, and in 2017 we advanced toward this cause on many fronts. Our efforts were not merely focused on services, however, as our staff worked to update, upgrade, and expand infrastructure and critical capital improvements. Our engineering and public service staff members oversaw important upgrades to our water and sewer plants. These efforts included replacement of major portions of buried water and sewer lines, some of which date back to the turn of the last century. These preventative efforts are designed to ensure the continuous flow of utility services for our residents. On the public safety front, we maintained our commitment to providing our first responders with the fleet and equipment they need to be prepared to aid and protect your family in moments of crisis. Cruiser and medic replacement programs help to ensure our officers and medics get to you wherever you need them as quickly as possible. We're committed to keeping these vehicles updated. Keeping our residents safe involves more than public safety services, though. It also means that we need to create an environment that promotes safety. particularly in our downtown, where pedestrians and bicyclists are most prevalent. To improve safety for residents and visitors to our downtown, we undertook the Downtown Safety Project earlier this year. This multifaceted project is funded in large part by state transportation grants, and among many components will include safety upgrades at various crosswalks and bike trail crossings, new signalization and intersection realignments to improve safety and traffic flow for motorists, and the creation of dedicated bike trails to eliminate the confusing shared sidewalk situation that currently exists. Our efforts to improve conditions and safety for roadways were not limited to our downtown, though. In 2017, Council authorized and staff carried out another round of street resurfacing projects. With the projects we've completed this year, more than $3.5 million in local funding has gone into street rehabilitation projects since 2011. Yet, combined with this local investment, our staff has been particularly successful the past couple of years with competitive grant applications. As a result, we've leveraged local dollars to a great extent and brought more external funding to our projects, bringing significant value to our citizens. We've made a lot of progress on streets, but much more work awaits. Our ability to fund priorities from street rehab to safety services depends on critical revenue streams from tax resources provided locally. We remember that 2016 saw a meaningful increase in revenues despite continued reductions in funding from the state of Ohio. Through October 2017, revenues are outperforming expectations again. While the fiscal environment remains uncertain into the distant future, we have weathered recent storms and maintained generally strong financial footing. Projections for this fiscal year indicate we are exceeding revenue funding requirements and realizing positive cash flow to our key operating funds. We've achieved this even while we have also restored public safety positions left vacant in prior years as a hedge against state funding cuts. What's more, there are positive indicators of growth in our tax base, particularly our most important revenue resource, income tax. Our area unemployment rate remains low, and the number of local citizens employed remains high. We will continue to closely monitor indicators and recommend a fiscally conservative approach to spending, keeping critical services our priority while trying to expand programs that improve quality of life. Indeed, improving quality of life is what our efforts are focused on. Yet this task is not something that just happens. Instead, it takes time, vision, strategy, patience, and the courage to be optimistic. It's like the farmer looking out to his fields in late winter. He knows the work that lies ahead, but when the harvest is fulfilled, he will be reminded again how worthy his cause is. Like that farmer, we have begun sowing seeds that will grow in 2018. The end goal is creation of wealth and opportunity in our community. We'll seek this through a diversity of approaches. Many of our efforts will target stabilization of local markets. Still other efforts will seek to position the city for economic growth through workforce development and job creation. Our assertive approach will begin this January with an update to our ED 360 initiatives. ED 360 will be expanded in its depth and dimensions to fully serve as the economic development strategic plan we need to purposefully coordinate our efforts. Key updates and strategy will include realignment of our approach to retail development as we seek to attract more franchisee participation in our marketplace, and we look to cultivate unique retail options through recruitment of entrepreneurs. We'll place an even heavier emphasis on industrial recruitment as we work toward clustering of opportunities, building off recent successes. We'll be working with downtown property owners to develop a new master plan for the downtown in line with the Main Street approach and combine these efforts with redevelopment work in the town square, which we anticipate will finally take root next spring. And related to this, as concerns about parking constraints downtown remain with business owners in our core, we will be bringing to City Council later this winter recommendations for strategies to address this issue. Workforce development will be a major priority moving into the new year. Expanding local training opportunities for skilled trades will be pursued in cooperation with area partners. Construction of the REACH project in 2018 means that Clark State and Central State will have a presence within our community in the near future, providing educational services that will open up a world of opportunities for our residents. What's more, we are in the process of laying out a set of formal town and gown strategies with our friends at Central State University, with a significant emphasis to be placed on creating business development opportunities related to agriculture, as the city and university seek to fully leverage all of the resources available through the land grant institution designation. Building on the success of recent years, we'll also be adding a new component in 2018 to our job fair by including a training fair element to the event, offering participants information and counseling related to regional educational and training programs to assist our residents in developing a pathway to success. These key initiatives and other strategies will be detailed in the update to ED 360 this winter. But there's much more we'll be working on in 2018. Staff hopes to work closely with City Council to provide more community engagement. These efforts will start with plans to launch more community roundtable events in the coming year, beginning with meetings we're hosting in the coming weeks with stakeholders of our downtown business community who have been invited to meet with us to talk about parking. But there's much more we'll be working on in 2018. Staff hopes to work closely with City Council to provide for more community engagement. These efforts will start with plans to launch more community roundtable events in the coming year, beginning with meetings we'll be hosting in the coming weeks with stakeholders of our downtown business community who've been invited to meet with us to talk about parking. We'll be expanding roundtable opportunities to include topics like how the city should address our street rehabilitation needs. Another important outreach effort we'll be launching in the spring is a Citizens Academy, intended to connect residents with the inner workings of a municipality and give folks an immersive experience regarding service delivery in Xenia. And in what is perhaps the most important outreach effort prospectively before us, staff is also recommending the city facilitate a charter review initiative in order to ensure that our local government is operating under contemporary guidelines and in the most cost-effective manner possible. And speaking of operating efficiently, in 2018, my staff will also be evaluating a broad range of services and methods by which we provide these services to be sure that we are giving the best possible value to our residents. Finally, staff will carry out various infrastructure improvement and rehabilitation projects as planned with City Council's direction. Key projects include an aggressive slate of street resurfacing, replacement of playground equipment at Shawnee Park, and various improvements in water and wastewater utility systems. Indeed, 2018 will be a very, very busy year. But I'm reminded of scripture from 2 Corinthians 9, which says that a farmer who plants only a few seeds will get only a small crop, but he who plants generously will get a generous crop. Ladies and gentlemen, at the direction of City Council, we are planting generously in 2018 and with a slate of projects and priorities aimed at growing prosperity and improving the quality of life. But to truly be successful moving forward, we will need the generosity of our entire community. We need residents to be generous with their time, volunteering to help with events, or even to just help their neighbors. We need our community to be generous with their attention, participating in the governance process, being engaged, and staying informed with what is being accomplished and where we are deficient. And we also need our citizens to be generous in supporting local businesses and organizations. They are part of what makes a small community great, and so please support them consistently. And perhaps most importantly, we need our community to be generous with positivity in 2018. Government alone cannot make a great place to live. It's up to the people of our community to accomplish this. Take pride in Xenia because it's a great small town. It's easy and lazy to be negative, constantly pointing out the problems and deficiencies. But my encouragement is to be generous with compliments of our city, to be generous with positivity about our people, to be generous with optimism about our shared future. The world is breeding hate and negativity. Let's sow seeds of optimism and kindness and hope in Xenia in the coming year. Xenia has so many positive things to offer, and it starts with you, our people. So where do we grow in 2018? Well, the opportunities are unlimited if we generously sow the right seeds. Thank you for your time and attention today. If you want to learn more about the City of Xenia and how you can get involved, I invite you to visit explorexenia.com. Thanks again, and God bless.